Table 78-32 introduces the landscape orientation. And before we begin, I just want to encourage anyone who is tempted to skip the lessons in the word processing manual, please don't. I think that you'll find them very helpful. There are a lot of lessons on this unit for tables, and I think they are crucial in understanding and giving you practice in these features of Word 2007. Okay, to begin our box table, we're going to format the table in landscape orientation. That means we'll be going to the Page Layout tab. Click Orientation, command right below the name of the tab there. Choose Landscape, a simple but important step. And then we need to change our side margins. We're going to come to Margins, come down to Custom, and then change left and right to 0.5. And click OK. Now at this point, I'm going to insert a box table with 7 columns and 11 rows. I had to decrease my magnification of the page so that we could see the whole landscape view here. And notice how this is taking up our whole width of the page, even to the 1/2 inch margins. I want you to use Table Move handle as the technical name to select the entire table and change the font size to 12. Next, we're going to merge the cells in row 1. Type the title in all caps, centered, bold, and eventually 14 point. Control E to center, Control B for bold, caps lock key to type in all caps. Press enter one time, turn off caps lock, and type the subtitle, and then press enter one time and type the date line. Then press enter one time so that you have that blank line that we always want to have after the last line in the title block row. Next, go back and select the title and change it to 14 point. Then we're going to move to the first row for the column heading. We want these to be bold and centered, and we'll discuss this a little later. But at this point, we're going to type in the information for the column headings. And in column A, we're going to type the customer's last name followed by a comma and then the first name. So even though you have it entered in your textbook on page 289 as Darlene Westfall, you're going to type Westfall, comma, space, Darlene, and then tab to complete the rest, taking note of all the proofreading marks. Now, when you type in your information, it's going to look something like this. We're not finished yet, but I want you to note that all columns are text columns and therefore should be left aligned. However, if you check your reference manual, the column headings over text columns, when they are all text columns, should be centered. And that's why we centered these column headings. Now, you might have questions about telephone numbers, zip, and stock numbers. They look like quantities. However, that is the key. They are numbers, but not quantities. And therefore, we consider them just text and leave them left aligned. Next, we're going to auto-fit the contents. So let's use the layout menu this time for a change. In the cell size group, the auto-fit command, auto-fit content. There, now that looks a lot better. And we're going to select the entire table with the Table Move handle to move to the next step of centering horizontally. Go to the Properties, Alignment, Center, and OK, and then move to the Page Layout tab, Page Setup dialog box launcher, the Layout tab, and Page, Vertical Alignment, Center, and OK. Right? Proofread, review your document, then return to GDP, score, review, and edit the table until it has 0 errors in GDP.